Trump saves TikTok. That's the story the folks at TikTok are trying to sell us anyway. Chris Graham here, Augusta Free Press. TikTok ended its hours-long political stunt on Sunday, with the Chinese company's owner ByteDance making itself available to U.S. users again after voluntarily taking the app down late Saturday night. The payoff, they're about to get their hands on hundreds of billions of dollars of our taxpayer money. Also that Donald Trump can say he's some sort of supreme deal maker. Now, here's the quote from TikTok. I love this. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. Now, some background here. Funny thing here is the push to ban the app came from, guess who? Donald Trump, who actually issued an executive order in 2020 prohibiting transactions between ByteDance and U.S. citizens, citing national security reasons. ByteDance filed suit in federal court challenging that executive order, and before that suit could run its course, Joe Biden, who was not Donald Trump, reversed the ban in an executive order that he signed in 2021. Now, in 2024, a bipartisan law called the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Control Applications Act was signed into law by Biden, effectively banning the app from the U.S. market unless ByteDance, whose founder and CEO Zhang Yiming confirmed in a letter in 2018 that his app works closely in cooperation with the Chinese Communist Party and, quote, reserved the right to share any information collected by the app with Chinese authorities. Now, the law only kicked in if TikTok stayed under the ownership of ByteDance in close cooperation with the Chinese Communist Party. If the company was sold to another company not considered to be controlled by a foreign adversary of the United States, everything was kosher. Another ByteDance lawsuit challenging the 2024 law made its way to the Trump-packed U.S. Supreme Court, which voted 9-0 this week, actually just a couple of days ago on Friday as I'm recording this, affirming the constitutionality of that 2024 law. So for those keeping score at home, Trump was the first to want to ban TikTok. The law that passed in 2024 has strong bipartisan support, which means Republicans and Democrats were on board. And the Trump Supreme Court just said this week that the law was kosher with them. Now, Biden, in response to the Supreme Court ruling, pledged not to take action to enforce that law because it was Friday and he's going to be in office until not midnight, until noon on Monday, tomorrow, as I'm recording here. Which makes sense. Why? You got 2 days to enforce something. And it's a weekend. You just let Trump deal with it. Reasonable move. Here's where things get weird. Despite facing no pressure to act, ByteDance rendered TikTok dark to U.S. users in the 10 p.m. Eastern Time hour last night, Saturday night, as I'm recording, claiming in a message post to its Twitter account that the Biden administration had failed to provide the necessary clarity and assurance to the service providers that are integral to maintaining TikTok's availability to over 170 million Americans, and that, quote, unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement to satisfy the most critical service providers assuring non-enforcement, unfortunately, TikTok will be forced to go dark. So Biden had already said, I'm not enforcing the law, kicking the can down the road, let Trump deal with it on Monday. This was clearly a political stunt on the part of ByteDance and TikTok, whose CEO, Xiao Chu, has been invited to the Trump inauguration. He's going to be seated with the other U.S.-based tech oligarchs at the ceremony. Trump, who started the push to ban the app in 2020, is now being positioned through all this rigmarole as the conquering hero who saved its users from having to find something else to do with their time. Oh, God forbid. The soon-to-be president in a social media post today pledged to sign another executive order to, quote, extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions were to take effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. Not sure how that can happen. This is a federal law. It'd be interesting to see how legally that would pass muster, but that is what it is. He also signaled in that message that he wants to use federal taxpayer dollars to have a 50% ownership position in a joint venture. By doing this, he said, quote, we save TikTok, keep it in the good hands and allow it to stay up. Without U.S. approval, there is no TikTok. With our approval, it is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions, he said. That's in case you were wondering what this stunt was really all about. It's about giving China hundreds of billions of dollars of our money so that they can still use their app to influence the way they think. Because nothing's promised there if we get a 50% buy-in to this that anything changes anyway. But here we are, 170 million of us. I'm not included. I don't have TikTok. I don't care. But we're those of us who do are lapping it up and asking for more.